Hello and welcome to Just Learn Python. This is Python tutorial for beginners. We are in part 14 of this series and we are learning strings. This is continuation of last two previous videos. So where we have learned about basic types of strings. Then we used some built-in functions on strings. Then we learned how to index strings and how to slice and do the string manipulation. Now we will continue further. Today we are going to learn about how to add numbers to strings and how to use duplicate operator on string. Fine. So there are two built-in functions we have, that is str and int. These are also called as type constructors, str and int. Str is a type constructor with which numbers are converted to strings. It will give us a new str object from number. Fine. So sometimes you want to concatenate strings and numbers. As Python is strongly typed, we cannot directly add numbers to strings. That we will see in a while. We will look into an example where we get a type error when we try to add numbers to strings. So the first example is that, see, I want to have a string like 10 apples. So I have a variable here, num apples, which is assigned to value 10, that is the digit, 10 digits, number, integer, and then I have str1, which is assigned with apples. Notice I have specifically put a space here so that we'll get a nice output. So now if I try to add num apples plus str1, fine. So if I run this code, so you'll get a type error. What it says, unsupported operand type for plus int and str. So what it says, you cannot add number and str. So for that, what we have to use on number, num underscore apples, first we will convert it to str and then add string to it. So once we apply str type constructor, it will give us a string, and that string is again added with another string, that is str1. So now I will comment this line and I will run this again. So we'll get the 10 apples which we wanted. We can add multiple strings. Example 2, to get a string like I ate 10 apples. So here we have to do str1, suppose let's say I ate, then str2 apples, num apples which we used in the previous example, that is 10. We are going to concatenate these three strings. Now str1 plus num apples, that is 10, plus str2. Fine. So we can add like this, multiple strings we can add. So this will give us a new string, that is I ate 10 apples. This is altogether a new string object. Whenever you try to modify a string, as you know, string is a immutable object, so you cannot do modification on strings, so it will always return a new string. That you have to remember. Fine. So this is altogether a new string. Now str is a built-in function, so you should avoid it as a variable name or any identifier. Fine. If you use str, you are overriding built-in function implementation. So let's see what happens if we use str as a variable name. So let's say here str equal to sample string. Fine. Now I have num apples equal to 20. It is a numerical value 20. I want to apply str on num apples, so that I want to convert it to string and then add some string to it. Fine. So what happens now, str, I am using the same here, built-in function. So let's run this code. So we get a error. What it says is str object is not callable. So this is not a callable. See what happens, the str function definition, the built-in function definition is overridden by your variable in your namespace. So this is in current namespace, you have defined a str as a variable, as a string. So it cannot be called. That's what it is. So to avoid all this, try to avoid all the built-in functions, all the keywords as a identifier names. Keyword anyway you will not be able to use, but built-ins you should avoid as a identifier. That is variable name, class name, function name, etc. Fine. So by chance if you do that, so we can delete that. What we can do, we can get back the str built-in function definition in your namespace, that is by using a del statement, delete statement. Fine. So for that, what we will do, we will delete str. So it will not delete the original built-in function definition, it will only delete what you have defined in your namespace, user defined. Fine. After that we can use that again. So now we will get 20 as a string. So now let us take two numbers from the user and try to add them. We are using an input function here. As we have seen in built-in function, input we used to take input from the user. Fine. So first number is assigned to A, second number is assigned to B. After that we are printing A plus B. Fine. So let's say I have 10, B as 20. So we expected it to be 30. Since input returns a string, we cannot add directly to get the numerical value. Input gives strings. Fine. So for that we can check what is the type of A and B here. We can apply type built-in function to know what is the type. Suppose I say 10, 20. So 10 and 20 are str class type. Fine. So for that, if you want to get numerical value of this addition A plus B, convert A and B into integer. For that we use int type constructor, int built-in function on both A and B. So now we pass A to int built-in function plus int B. We pass B to int built-in function. Then we will get the expected value 10, 20. So we get 30 as a value. Now duplication operator. We can use duplication, that is star on string, to duplicate a string. Fine. Here we have an example where happy birthday to you. I have put a space here for the readability. So now if I want to do wish 3 times, let's say we want to duplicate the string by 3 times. So now you get happy birthday to you 3 times. We can duplicate any string. Here I have used hash and I want it 30 times. So you get 30 times. No need to type it 30 times. So you just use the duplication operator. It will give you 30 times the whatever string you want to duplicate. So these are useful when you want to do formatting and print nice output to screen. So in this video we learnt about str and int built-in functions, that is type constructors, how to add numbers and strings, how to add numbers when we take input from the user, and then we saw what is the implication of using str as a identifier, and then how to revert it back by using a del operator, and then we saw 2 examples of duplicator operator. I hope this video is useful to you and you like this. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you will get notification whenever there is a new video is uploaded. Thank you for watching.